The next set of pizza wheels are dealing with the bodily kinesthetic method of processing information, so we're going to look at those right now. Many of you are very familiar with the Think, Pair, Share. When I was at Central Bucks as a principal, I learned about adding walk to it. So you have students think about something, they pair with another person, and then they walk and share while they're walking. I like this idea. It gets kids moving and talking at the same time. The next one is body protractor. With this particular method, I'll demonstrate it right now for you. With body protractor, we would give things like, if everybody would be standing, and we might be giving plurals, and we'd say, okay, we're all going to be standing, the teacher's going to throw a word out, and you're going to say, ready, get, set, show, and it would mean like this. Do we add an S, ES, IES, or none of these? So if we did the word dog, and we said, ready, get, set, show. If we did the word lady, ready, get, set, show. If we did the word children, ready, get, set, show. That would be like that because that's an exception. A lot of things you can do on any multiple choice idea with body protractor. The next one's called snowball fight. Now with snowball fight, what we have the kids do, they have read something, it could be in science, social studies, or whatever, and they're going to put two questions with answers. In other words, two separate pieces of paper. And this paper that we're going to use is going to be paper that we would use as paper towels. So we have to have them as a paper towel. So they write the question and the answer, and then what they're going to do is we're going to put a barrier in between the kids where there's going to be two groups. One on one side of the barrier and one on the other. And the barrier ought to be at least 8 feet, like tables, work out the best, student desk. And then what we're going to do is we'll have them crumble them into a snowball, and we say ready, get, set, throw. And for about 30 seconds they're throwing these at each other. And then once they get the 30 seconds up, the teacher says stop, and everybody gets 2 snowballs. And then they're going to be asking one question to the person exactly opposite of them on the other side. If the person gets it right, they get a point. If they don't get it right, it's no point. Kids love this. The next one has to do with things of exercising, and this was made by a phys ed teacher. You could use any numbers you want, but it's a good way to get a brain break. Another one that goes along with that is called Get Up and Move, and you can see the same idea on that one. And a third one we have here also has to do with things like galloping in place, jumping jacks, for instance. The next 3 are sports wheels, and I found that these worked really, really well. The way it's going to work is a team gets an answer right, and when they get an answer right, then they're going to be able to spin the wheel and they'll perform whatever it says on it. For instance, with the football, things like lose 30 yards, pass 50 yards. The paper in the middle is paper called memory paper that we're using with scrapbooking. And let's go with the final one I want to share with you. This was developed by a teacher in East Stroudsburg, and it's called Zip It Up. We take an ordinary zipper, and with this, we can make a manipulative number line. What I like about this one is, for instance, at a first grade or second grade level, we could give them a problem like 4, so they go to number 4 plus 2, and they get their answer. What's neat about this is if we can also use it for measuring. If we start it at the bottom here and have 0, and every inch we measure it, we can measure around different parts of our body. We could measure books. There's a lot of things we can measure. Now, if you're going to do this, you can either use puffy paint, works real well, or gel pens. If you try to use a Sharpie, it'll bleed everywhere. This is very exciting to use. Some other ideas with it. The kids find different shapes with attributes. And we could even put things like letters of the alphabet on it, that kids would go ahead and say the letters as to what they've gotten. That concludes what we're going to share with you on bodily kinesthetic we're going to move over right now to another section, and that's over here on mathematical ideas. With the mathematical ones, you can see called place your value. With this one, we use the wheel next to it called pedal power. And those are all blank to begin with, where I have the numbers written in. But we spin the wheel, and kids are on their own paper going to try to develop the biggest number they can. Once they get a number, they put it somewhere on their card, and they can't change it. What I've found is give the kids a colored pencil to work with or colored marker so they can erase it and change it. The other one, pedal power, works great for place value, for kids making particular numbers, or also putting kids into different groups. The next one is high five math. High five math is kind of interesting, and if you want the directions on that, you can email me at wyerger@eastern.edu. But we're going to demonstrate it for you very quickly. First of all, this is a bodily kinesthetic way of learning to multiply. Watch my fingers. These are going to represent 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same on this side, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if we were multiplying these two, that would be 6 times 6. All right, now here's how it works. You add the fingers that are touching, which is 2 in this case, and any below. There's none touching, there's none below. So it's a 2. You put a 0 to the right of it. Now we're at 20. And then whatever is left, you multiply by each other. 4 times 4 added to the 20, 36. Let's try another one. 8 times 7. Touching 2 with 3 below makes a total of 5. 5 with a 0 to the right of it is 50. Multiply what's left by each other. 3 times 2, 6 on the 50, 56. It works with all the numbers 6 through 10. No leftovers. I learned this from a 4th grade teacher in Lehigh County. You can use this for not only adding and subtracting, you can use it for multiplying, you can use it for fractions. What we have here, we have a problem with the answer all there. And what the kids have to do is figure out the problem and the answer. For instance, if we take this one, we have 9871. Well, 9 plus 8 is 17. Or this one, 1493. 4 plus 9 is 13. Kids have a ball in doing that one. The next one is actually called lattice math, but I call it tic-tac-toe multiplication because it looks like a tic-tac-toe board. And if you follow what we've done here, we've multiplied 247 by 365, and I tell the kids we can play battleship on this, and then yes, we add like the ones that are in the escalator, as you can see, to make the number come out. The game of 24 is also on a pizza wheel. We have no leftover equivalent fractions, the multiplication game. This one I like to use different Sunday ads in terms of taking something they would like to have and to be able to take a percentage off. Show me the money. With this one we have different money amounts, and in here we have cards that we actually have the coins, and they will show by using clothespins on that one. Here's a no leftover that is going to be dealing with fractions, and the College of Knowledge is all dealing with numbers that we would spin it. One final one I want to share with you. This fits into called Make That Spare, and with this particular one, if kids get an answer right, they get an opportunity to roll the bowling ball, and whatever they get down is what score they would get for that. In other words, instead of just getting 1 point for getting it right, they could get 1, 2, or 3. That concludes our session.